challenge them.
Okay, I don't want any trouble. Come on. Here, leave me alone. Leave me alone, okay? No, you want your duckling back? Here it is. Sorry. That'll teach you to match wings with us. Stupid mother duck.
Oh, Bart, if those ducklings understood what
Sugar Pine could use extensive treatment, and we have a new drug to combat this syndrome. Ignoritol. Let me show you how Ignoritol works. It turns this to this.
Well, off to school where they'll prepare our little minds for a future we'll never see.
Sounds like someone's gotta get to the Monday.
What's your angle? If this girl had seen Thursday night, I wouldn't have told her I was the kind of boy that could Laura, I don't care that this is just an act.
You never told me that this was your father.
Loser.
Homer Simpson, that man is beyond redemption.
That might seem to be true.
Sense a butt coming, Robert.
Here comes the bus! Instead of pushing Homer away, you find a way to reach out and bring him in.
Homer? Homer? You know, our Bible study group is going to the Holy Land next month. I'd like you and your family to come as my guests.
Oh, I can hear your sarcasm from inside the house. What's going on here? Mr. Flanders invited us to Israel. Oh, we will take you up on your offer. But I insist on paying our own Rusty, I've been meaning to ask, what are you doing on this tour?
I believe that every Jew should make a pilgrimage to Israel before he dies.
Yes, it is fitting.
My name is Jacob. You may notice I speak the English with a slight accent. This is because, as you probably guessed, I used to live in London. And that is why I sound like you try. Come on, let's go!
Have any safety tips?
What are you talking about? Israel is the safest country in the world. The only danger here is dehydration. Drink water, don't die. It looks bad on me. Go ahead. Don't do this to me.
Shalom, Goyer. Shalom to you. Shalom is the aroma of this place.
Okay, let me start talking now.
BC turned into AD. Let's go!
There's stuff been here for thousands of years. But the breakfast buffet at this hotel, which is included in our package, closes in 10 minutes.
Okay, what are you gonna do with the ring? You're gonna throw it at it? No, okay, let the ring go through there. Drop it, drop the ring, and for some reason, it managed to hook itself in there. Let's check out slow motion. Look at that! Whoa, it like flung and went like back, and then now it's trapped. Oh, I need this. This is like a video game in real life. It tells you where you're about to shoot. Oh, no way! And it actually works really well, too. That's such a cool device. Whoa, it's Iron Man! It's actually a genuinely legit Iron Man helmet. That's awesome! Can we have that? I want to have that. Huh? What is this? He puts it on. Do you like see? Oh, there's a shark? You can see a shark. How does that work? Wait, what? I'm so confused how this works. How are there sharks over there? Wait, is that the faucet? Where's the water coming from? What? There was an open faucet, but where was water coming from? Look at this guy spinning. Oh, if I had this on my desk, I would never get any work done. I would constantly want to spin this guy and see him flip him around, you know? It's just spinning and spinning and spinning. Is this a safe? Whoa! That looked like such a cool safe. Whoa! And pour this in there. This is sand into liquid. If it reacts to water, it turns into this, I don't know, what it's sand into solid. But wait, but only because of the water. Is this a car? Is this a new thing on the roads, guys? This is a pretty intense device. Oh my. Goodness. That thing will never get a flat tire. Never in its life. We'll have to worry about accidentally running over some glass or something. That's a big boy machine. Look, it's a lighthouse. Okay, but it has mirrors. What's the trick here? If you move it around, it looks like a lighthouse. But in reality, there isn't really a lighthouse there, guys. It's just the mirrors playing tricks on you. This is so cool. This is sand, but there's a camera that registers how high certain points are in the sand. Look at that. This is how, like, they scan the bottom of the sea. So they know, like, oh, look, there's some dunes over here and there's some other stuff over here. This is so cool. Technology. I love technology. Okay, we have some red dye and some blue dye. Pocket viewer. No idea what this is, but looks like... Whoa, look at it move. It looks like a CGI portal. This thing doesn't even look real. It looks like we're about to enter Star Trek. Whoa, what is this? Whoa! Look at these lasers! That was crazy!
All have endings that will keep you guessing, and as you are watching, just remember, not all surprises end well. Number 10. An officer pulls over a vehicle for running a red light. He and the driver are having a discussion about what to do next, when it looks like a third vehicle is trying to get the officer's attention off in the distance.
The other light, the light's going straight. Who is this?
The officer probably guesses he is being flagged down by someone with an emergency to report, which happens from time to time during traffic stops. But that's not how this video ends at all.
Hey! Get out of here, man. You're good.
The headlights continue to grow brighter, and soon the officer realizes this driver has no intentions of slowing down. He steps around the back of the car moments before getting flattened. I don't know if the person driving was just completely not paying attention, but this is a major violation that could easily land them behind bars. The police officer lets the first person go and ducks into his squad car to pursue the other car. I'm sure this is definitely not how they were expecting the traffic stop to end. Number 9. This Oklahoma weather report has an interruption and an ending that you will never guess.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. This is live on air.
An ending that you will never guess.
The cloudy skies, southerly winds are going to be with us. Whoa. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. This is live on...
An ending that you will never guess.
The cloudy skies, southerly winds are going to be with us. Whoa. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. This is live on air.
An earthquake rips through the building and threatens to collapse its very foundations. I think most people would run for cover, but her reaction will probably surprise you more than the actual event.
That was well over 4.0 magnitude, I can tell you that much right now. Let me finish this forecast and then...
Rather than evacuate, she and the rest of the crew bravely finish up the weather report, despite getting rocked by an earthquake over 4.0 on the Richter scale. Let me know if you would have put your job first and done the same, or if you would have been out of there immediately. Number 8. A news reporter is getting ready to go live when an elderly local wanders into his frame.
How are you?
The two politely exchange hellos, and the reporter thinks nothing of it until he squints off in the distance, thinking he recognizes the person from somewhere. As it turns out, the man who just passed them by was the exact same person who they were seconds away from doing a missing report on.
I'm Jeremy. I've been looking for you for a while. You hurt or anything? No? You cold?
He has memory problems and had wandered away yesterday. Looking at him, you wouldn't be able to tell anything is wrong with his memory. But his shoes are wet and he has been wandering in the wilderness overnight. Fortunately, he somehow found his way back to the road, and they were able to get him before he became too exhausted and lost. Number 7. When this man went after a string of banks along the Cincinnati tri-state area, police were flooded with anonymous calls from people who claimed to know who it was. When they went to his mother's house to take him into custody, she was extremely distraught and said she had watched the news and already knew why they were here. The two pictures look almost identical, and the sunglasses did little to hide his true identity. It seems like an open and shut case, but you'll never guess the ending. After some more investigating, they find out the real crook was this man named Conrad Zerdiak, who had bought a lifelike mask for $1,000 and used it during his spree. The mask just so happened to look exactly like the suspect in question. If Conrad's girlfriend hadn't have turned him in, they may very well have gotten the wrong guy. I wonder how many other times a realistic mask...
You can pick your favorite exercises, build a custom workout, and do things your way. They budging a spot? Nah.
Was used to commit a wrongdoing, and how many other innocent people may be put behind bars under similar circumstances. After all, saying that somebody was wearing a mask that looked just like you is a pretty unbelievable alibi. Number 6. A Russian police officer pulls a car over at a security checkpoint for questioning.
Wake up in the morning feeling like P.O. Grab my glasses on out the tuck him pedicure.
He barely has a chance to say anything before he finds himself jumping in the vehicle to save his life, and you'll never guess from what. About 20 vicious wolves emerge from the frosty forest and run in unison down the M23 highway. I can't tell if this is computer-generated effects or an unedited CCTV video, but if this really happened, then the police officer trots by where he was just standing. It doesn't even get the door shut in time, and the animal could have jumped in if he really wanted to. The wolves must have recently feasted, because they do seem rather unconcerned with it, but I have little doubt that one of them would have taken him out just for sport if he had stood in their way for much longer. Number 5. This Birmingham, Alabama restaurant seems to be rapidly falling apart. Inside, chunks of snow lay strewn on the ground as more infrastructure cracks and breaks overhead. It looks like the ceiling itself is about to crumble, and it eventually does less than a minute later. You'll never guess the reason why. A stranger bursts through the ceiling and lands on their feet, covered in fiberglass insulation. Fortunately, this happened over an empty table and not the counter area, where somebody could have easily gotten harmed. They try to act like nothing is wrong as they walk to the exit and drive away. Later, the man is apprehended after a short chase by police. Investigators think he was trying to take money from the back office, but accidentally fell through the main dining room instead. Whatever his reasoning was, I'm sure the customers never guessed their meal would be ended early by his grand escape. Number 4. 2 golfers in Florida decide to have some fun with an alligator near the edge of an embankment. They tap a golf ball in its direction just to see how it reacts. Try to translate what one of them says at the end if you can too.
Alright, andiamo.
The gator eyes the golf ball and makes a quick decision. Judging by their surprised reactions, it's definitely not the ending they were expecting. noticed how the gator seems to hold eye contact with the person recording. I know these reptiles have very limited intelligence, but it's almost as if the gator knows it has the last laugh as it slips into the water without breaking its stare. Number 3, a YouTuber named Alone in the Dark takes a 2-hour tour of a haunted hospital that has been out of commission for a long time. Out of nowhere in response to his voice.
They hear ringing.
1, 6, 17, 22, 24, 35.
At one point on an upper floor, he finds a long streak of dry red down the wall from a nearby ceiling vent. It almost looks like someone was grabbed from above by something terribly strong and pulled up into the ventilation duct, where they met a horrible fate. Something else strange about this video is how all of the cabinet doors that he passes by seem to be flung open. Cabinets opening by themselves is a classic sign of a haunting, so take that for what you will. When he is finally ready to leave, the paranormal events really pick up in ways you'll never guess. First, he hears an ambulance pull up to the defunct hospital, and then he sees shimmering lights on the ground. It could just be broken glass reflected into the beam of his flashlight, but then again, it could be a paranormal energy signature. Either way, the timing of the ambulance siren is too much of a coincidence for me to believe this was anything normal. Number 2, a European factory worker takes a thin rod and coaxes molten metal down a chute. Once he has a steady stream going, he takes off his protective gear and you'll never guess how the video ends. With no glove and not even so much as a jacket to protect his bare arms, the fearless factory worker swats at the lava-like substance with just his hands. Watch how the splattered molten metal scorches a nearby pipe and dries into thickened black clumps, and you can tell this is definitely real. No editing. He does this no less than 6 times and holds his hand out to show only some blackened fingertips and nothing more. I have no idea how this is humanly possible, or more importantly, how he was able to discover this bizarre and rare talent, let alone put it to use at random. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying my narration. Are you curious about what I look like in real life? Then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT to find out. Do you like my narrations? If you answered yes, then tap the follow button and thank you for your support. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person. So if you're generous enough to hit the subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. My music. Watch it. Please, please, please don't. Also, don't forget I upload a new video here on YouTube.
How did she do that? I dominate my daughters in the new Words with Friends 2. Twerk? What'd she know about twerking? Words with Friends 2 is a fun way to reconnect and outsmart family. Outsmart? Rematch.
That's why I play the solo challenge.
At the end of the day, Words with Friends 2 brings us together to compete. You? Silly?
Solo challenge.
Play as a team or play on your own. Download the new Words with Friends 2 from the App Store or Google Play.
I'll be on my way. The ultimate zero-gravity experience.
3 masked men attempt a daring heist in Sydney, Australia at the Miller Shopping Centre. They are in the middle of taking jewels when literally everyone in the store decides they are not going to take this. And soon the men find themselves running for their lives. Customers and staff join together and chase the men out of the mall. Not even the fact one of the masked men is holding a sledgehammer is enough to hold back the angry vigilante mob. The 3 masked men flee into a red van and speed away with the mob close behind. With so many similar instances commonly filmed, it's quite a surprise to see everyone join in to chase off the robbers for once. It is said that 3 a.m. is when most paranormal and scary events happen, and as these videos show, it might just be better to go to bed early instead. Videos that many are not bringing experience in real life. All I can say is good luck. Number 13. Tim, John, and Ben are going to explore a house in the back of the woods that is rumored to be where a clan of worshippers do all kinds of rituals. They wander around in the woods for a while until a rickety white house rises from the darkness. Inside, warnings are spray painted all across the walls in big dark letters, but they do not heed them and press on. Tim, John, and Ben take turns breaking stuff and jumping out at each other, but suddenly the three become very serious and quiet when they find a dungeon-like basement that leads straight down. The dark area smells extremely foul, and they cover their noses and mouths with their shirts to lessen the stench. The only thing down there besides them are 2 dolls hanging by their necks, or at least that's what they think. Suddenly all 3 of them are running from what sounds like a creature with a low, throaty growl. If this noise is real, then it almost has to be the end result of a terrible ritual that none of us are brave enough to do. Number 12. While on vacation in South Africa, Emily Sawyer dares to climb into the shark tank with some of her friends. She is full of adrenaline and can't help but nervously grip the cage bars out of stress. Soon a giant shark comes prowling along the cage and wants a closer look at the potential meal inside. The tour guides try to keep the shark distracted with a piece of bait on a pole, but it lunges at the last second and chomps where Emily's hands just were. All the other girls can do is watch as the shark almost makes a meal out of their friends' hands. I'm surprised there is not a second outer cage to keep this from happening. Emily got away lucky. Maybe it's just a matter of time before someone pulls back a stump. Number 11. A stranger staggers out of the trees while a man is filming the train tracks. The person seems off balance and out of sorts as they slowly walk forward, barely managing to avoid an oncoming train. Just when it seems like the worst is over, another train fast approaches. They go forward, but he doesn't hear it. When he sees the cameraman pointing at him to get over, does he take a step? Otherwise, he would have kept walking straight in front of him. This cameraman his life, but judging from his lack of reaction, he seems to even care. Number 10. Shortly after moving into their new apartment, this couple began to feel watched, so they installed a camera in the bedroom. 3 nights later, they record a full-grown adult standing outside of their window. At first, he is so focused on staring into their bedroom that he doesn't even seem to notice or care about how obvious he stands out. It's a well-lit parking lot, and the couple inside walks closer to